Exactly. So it's an era of no boundaries, right? Like in the Facebook, when you open the Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, you can know anything. Yeah, I can simply know what did you eat last night. Yeah. This is not a boundary. يعني I ate مثلا whatever. Yeah. Whatever I eat. Yeah. Why should you know what I eat? Yeah? Why should you know? And there is certain like ways to even cross the boundaries. زي مثلا in the liturgy. So there is a break time in the liturgy. نقولها الوعظة. That's the break time. فتلاقي some كده, especially girls by the way, they go out and they go to the restroom as a trip. بيطلعوا رايحين على الحمام. بيقعدوا قاعدين في هناك. So ده مجموعة كده خرجت مع بعض وماشيين رايحين فين؟ الحمام. Really I'm saying it. تلاقي like مثلا 3-4 كده وراحوا مع بعض. And once they arrive there, unfortunately they are not using the restroom in the right usage of the restroom. بيعملوا ايه بقى in the restroom؟ بيتكسل. This is a restroom. ده مش مثلا مكان سياحي، ده مش توريست، مش توريزم اريا يعني. ده حمام عادي يعني لازم ناخد سيلفي. And to post it. We are in the restroom. Welcome. يعني كويس ما بتطلعش بريحه يعني كويس قوي يعني بتطلع بس صور من غير حاجه. بس what's happening? That's why should I know this يعني this information what will add to my life يعني. But it happens. And this is a cross of boundaries, right? I shouldn't know this information, by the way. That doesn't make any sense for me. Or for anyone else. Your posts. It's not. So that's the problem. Right now, we are in an era of no boundaries. But who made this? As Mina mentioned, it's us. We used the media and whatever in the media in a wrong way. So that's the problem. That's why we're going to talk about boundaries. How to set it and all that stuff. So what are boundaries? Tell me. What do you think? What are boundaries? Boundaries is what? Tell me what's the definition, what does it mean, what it looks like, tell me something. And anyone will say anything, say your name, so everyone will know who is talking, okay? Anyone. Who want to say, what are the boundaries, what does it mean, yes?
Amanda.
It's
Amanda.
Yes.
And I think boundaries are a set of rules that you create for yourself and let other people know to like create a sense of privacy or peace or self, keep yourself.
Wonderful, Amanda. Wonderful. What else? جميل جدا. Really. I love it, yeah. Had nice definition and ended up with peace because you are doing this for your peace. It's not to hurt someone else or just this is your boundaries, yeah. What else? Boundary definition. Anyone want to talk? Yes.
Raymond. It could also be similar to that a certain group or like a state or so forth has boundaries, that this group or this region is following these rules, whereas another group or another group of people is following a different set of rules. But when you cross into that boundary, expect to follow those boundaries.
So Raymond mentioned that we can say it in the form of rules that can control some instructions to certain group of people. Crossing the rules, definitely there will be consequences for that.
Yes.
Whatever the group, whatever the difference. Boundaries simply is like that. Part of taking responsibility or energy is knowing what is your job and what is not. This is a boundary. What is your job, what is not your job. And that's why you have to stick to the word, it's not my business. Because many times nowadays we care about others' business more than ours business. We interfere in others' businesses more than caring about our business. This is one of the main problems. And that's the main reason for being a judgmental generation. This generation is a very judgmental generation. You will figure out yourself, you are criticizing everything, right or wrong. Criticizing people, situations, criticizing events, and always putting yourself above others. Why? Because you are not focusing on your business. You are caring about others' businesses. Right or wrong? That's what's going on right now. And that's from that actually coming to the bullying. Even for the kids. Because of what? Because there is no boundaries. So simply the boundaries is exactly as Amanda and Raymond mentioned. It is simply like some sort of instructions you put it yourself. You can say it rules, whatever. You follow, but at the end of the day, you know your job and what's not your job. Because nowadays, we know our rights, but we don't know other rights. And that's why if you are suffering that others around you are interfering in your business, you are doing the same. But may not obviously like others, maybe others talking, but you are writing. When you write to others about all that, so definitely it's a big mess. Definitely. Right or wrong? Right? Please. Consider this, because that's the key. That's one of the main keys right now. And that's why workers who continually work like that, they will burn out, because they don't know how to function, right? And that's why in order to say no, it's a big deal. Who can say no nowadays? Sometimes people don't know how to say no, right or wrong? Sometimes, really. People don't know how to say no. I don't know how to say no. I know how to say yes. And that's it. I have a very nice conversation with a very sweet girl. Very sweet and very nice. And then she told me, I did like a mistake with this guy. And I said, why? What happened? She said, he loves me. I said, yeah, he loves you, but that doesn't mean that you go further with him. That's where is your privacy? Where is your value? I was talking about that. She said, he really wanted me. I said, really? Seriously? I said, yeah. And he asked me very politely. I said, لا. If he asked you with respect, خلاص, that's fine. If he pushed you, لا. No, that's no. But if he was nice with you, لا. خلاص, انت كده you are right. So she was laughing. I said, oh. I said, what's this? You couldn't say no. I said, I just don't want him to be upset. What? We can say no. We are going to talk about 4 categories of people. We are going to classify people into 4 categories concerning the boundaries, and you are going to see, you are going to put yourself in one of those with just a few minutes. But this is happening. That's happening. So you have to watch it. What does a boundary look like? Let's see this. That's how it looks like. Me and not be boundaries. Okay? So it's like what? It's like a fine line like this. Do you know that this line, as you see here, finish and start, this is the line between 2 countries. I'm serious about that. It's a line between 2 countries. Like if you are here, you are in one country. If you just cross this line, you are in another country. So it's a line, but it should be there. But this line can pass anything. They can pass it. It should be with a certain criteria. So I'm going to give you a situation and a quote. So this is a situation. We are going to read this situation. Read carefully, because I'm going to ask you. You are going to ask a question right now. Okay? So let's read this situation. Okay. Someone told you to guard this property over here. Okay? Because I will hold you responsible for what happens here, and then did not tell you the boundaries of the property, or they did not give you the means with which to protect the property. So simply, someone told you, listen, I want you to protect my property, but didn't tell you 2 things. Did not tell you the boundaries of the property, like it ends where, and where it ends, and didn't give you any means of protection. But he told you what? Take care of this property. What will be your feelings? What will be your feelings?
Confused.
Confused, right? Yeah. It's very confusing. What's this? How I'm going to take care? But you didn't say your name. Oops.
Care.
Okay. So.
I'm always confused. Perfect answer.
Okay. So, like, really? And you ask me to take care of the property? How am I going to take care of a property and I don't know where it ends? Yeah, like where? Right? And I don't know what's the resources, like how I'm going to function this problem. What else that you feel when you have a mission like that? You have a property, you should protect, you are responsible for it. You didn't have this, yes? Christina. Overwhelmed. So I will be confused and I will be stressed out. As Christina mentioned, overwhelmed. You cannot. Really? And that's a lot of work. What else? Yes.
Curious?
What, your name is Curious? Or like, what was your name?
Sandra.
Sandra, okay, Sandra. Curious. Curious to know what's going on here. But let me ask you a question, Sandra. Are you going to add to what Christina and Karen mentioned, or just curious? In another way, you will be curious, confused and overwhelmed, or just curious? So think about it. You will be curious to do the job, but at the same time, exactly, you are overwhelmed and confused. What do you think about the results of this job? What will be the results? I'm curious. I will accept the job. But at the same time, exactly, while I am like having this inside me, I am already overwhelmed, like Christina mentioned, and I am, as Karen mentioned, I'm confused. So what will be the end result of this project? Fail, maybe. What else it can be in this project? What else? So yeah, the project may fail. What else? What will be the consequences of something like that?
This person probably won't trust you again.
That's the main problem. What Karen mentioned right now, that's the main problem. I will accept the job out of curiosity. I will take the job, although I am already confused and overwhelmed. I took the job, so I agreed about the contract, right? But this job will fail automatically because of the system, right? So what will happen right now? What will happen? I'm failing. This person who already gave me the project will not trust me anymore. And I am not going to trust him anymore. So what happened? Nothing. Right? So what's the best way in order to accept this project is to do what? Ask. Amanda, right? It's just simple questions. Okay, tell me where this ends. What are my resources? What are my job descriptions in this? Well, just tell me. And that's why we accepted sometimes the project at school, by the way. I was in college like you, like few months ago I was in college like you. And I was doing like a project, and some things in the project was not like, was confusing. So I started to ask questions to make it clear so I can pass, and thank God I passed. But I mean, should ask, because without asking questions you will not know. And without asking questions you will not know your limitations, boundaries. Services in the church. If anyone, Abuna, a coordinator, anyone told you, know what, go serve here. Okay, tell me more, Abuna. What do you want from me exactly? What's my job description? What's the time? Who is going to help me? Who am I going to report to? When? What's the expectations from this project? Ask questions so you can put rules. Ask questions so you can put policy. So you can reach to something. and it will be respected. That way you will not be confused, you will not be overwhelmed, and your curiosity will be in a good way. I'm curious now. I want to be promoted. I want to get this job done. And that's why it's a full confusion. The heart knows, that's in Proverbs. The heart knows its own bitterness, and no one shares its joy. Your heart will know. Your heart will know. And that's why we have to set this kind of boundaries. Good in, bad out. This is one of the things that boundaries do. Good in, bad out. Do not give what is holy to the dogs, nor cast your pillars before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn and tear you in pieces. Matthew 7:6. Boundaries help you to get in right things, get out wrong things. Even about a project? Yes, even about a project. At school. With who? With anyone on earth. No, I can't say that to Baba. No, you can't say it to Baba. And to Mama. And to friends. And to co-workers. To anyone. What's wrong with asking questions? What's wrong with knowing some information? What's wrong with that? Is it any wrong about that? But sometimes we don't know how to ask. Sometimes we don't know, is it right? No, I should tell them everything. He is my friend. She is my friend. I should tell her everything. Who said so? This is written in where? No, you shouldn't. You should put limits. In and out. We have to guard our treasures and to put ourselves and having things inside us which are not going to be shared with anyone. This is very important. You have your own privacy. You shouldn't share everything. You shouldn't share everything all the time. We share everything almost all the time. Look at Instagram. When you look at Instagram, I don't have access. I don't have an Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. I don't have time. I'm not telling you not to have, but I don't have time. This is my own boundaries to myself. I don't have even WhatsApp group, by the way. Why? I don't have time for that. I have time for many other things to do. This is my boundaries. That I'm not telling you copy me. I'm telling you what I'm doing. And that's my full right about it. Right? Because I don't have time for WhatsApp group in which there will be 100 person, everyone sending a message, hi, how are you doing? Well, someone sent a post, وكل الناس بقى good post, thank you so much, it makes my life different. أنا ما makes you the file different ولا مش different. أنا أعمل إيه؟ أنا أي كلام أي حاجة. So what's going? ان احنا بنعمل بوستنج بكل حاجه وبعدين حاجه غريبه on Instagram واحده طالعه بالبيجامه. I don't care to see your بيجامه. يعني this is not something that will make difference in my life. شفتوا البيجامه دي؟ شفناها حلوه جميله. ليه تشوف بيجامتك؟ ليه؟ هو انا اقول لك ايه؟ انا جبت بنطلون جديد انا مثلا بقى كده ساعه طب منين عشان يجيب زي ليه why should I know about your new hand يعني why anyway that's really waste of time and this is how Mina in the beginning said we share information but shouldn't be shared. Why? Just focus on something. This is waste of time. What do you think about this coming quote? Focus on it because this quote is from the Bible, so don't ما تهرجوش The Bible does not say that we are to be walled off from others. In fact, it says that we are to be one with them. That's the Bible. يعني مش كلام خدت. The Bible اللي قال كده. Now I am no longer in the world, but these are in the world, and I come to you. Holy Father, keep through your name those whom you have given me, that they may be one as we are. What do you think that means? That means simply that God put it clearly not to put boundaries. We are one.
But it says
Your name.
Sarah.
It doesn't tell you your name. Sorry. Sarah.
It says one as we are, as in capital we.
Oh yeah. So we have to put boundaries with capital B.
We. No, we.
We.
As in.
I'm just kidding.
We're
What
supposed
does
to
it
be.
mean?
No, we're supposed to be in the boundary with Christ, not with the world.
But like that means we are one together. He said that we may be one. We
Yeah.
may
in
be one
Christ,
as we are.
In Christ, not in the world.
Oh, so to be one in something, in Christ, which means what? You are right, sir.
We have Marina.
Marina.
That we have like unity with each other,
Unity,
like koinonia.
same morals
Yes.
as Jesus. So we can be one together, definitely, because we have the same instructions. Think about it, as if we are in a company, and the CEO of the company is Jesus Christ, and he informed us with some instructions called 10 Commandments, and the morals and the things which he said. So if you want to follow this company, to be hired here and to fit in this company, you just have the uniform of the company, which is baptism, and follow some instructions and rules and systems in this company. Confession, taking communion, believing in salvation, Jesus Christ, sacraments of the church, and the rules over there, and in this you will be considered in one unit. That means we don't have boundaries? Who said so? No. Just have the same way of thinking. Same instructions of the company of Jesus. But definitely we are different. And that's why we have to, therefore boundaries are walls. No, it is not. Let's say this. In short, boundaries are not walls. Boundaries are what? For every community, all members have their own space and property. The important thing is that property lines be permanent enough to allow passing and strong enough to keep out danger. Like this. That's the right boundary. Strong enough to keep danger, but at the end of the day, it permits the good things. So we are living together, united together in the name of Jesus, as Marina and Sarah mentioned, but we are respecting each other's boundaries. This is something very important. Very important. Example of boundaries, we have an example of boundaries that we deal with it on daily basis. Example of boundaries which we deal with it on daily basis. It's in you. Your skin. Physically, the skin is like that. The skin opens and let good things in and bad things out. That's how it goes. That's the normal skin barrier on the left side. That's the normal skin barrier function. Moisture getting in, right? Harmful substance get out. On the other side, that disrupted skin. That's why you get infection. That's why we can't be injured. So, what does it mean if I get injured? It means what? That someone passed my boundary. So he got inside me. And that's why I am now, with this opening in my hand, I am now exposed to all bacteria. And that's why you get infected. So in order not to be infected, your skin should be healthy, not injured. That's a normal boundary in your bodies. So God created us with normal boundary. You have it already in your bodies. Your skin is a boundary, normal boundary. Right or wrong? So God created you like that and He wanted you to be like that. So think about it. How many times do you injure the others? It's not the injury here. injuries. Those injuries is nothing, believe me. But you can injure the heart of someone. Just interfering in someone's business, that means you are allowing some sort of infection to go to that person by interfering in his life or in her life. This kind of interference, which is not your right. Not your right. Abuna, that means sometimes someone may have the right to injure me. Can I give someone a right to interfere me? Without harming me? Can I or not? Think about it. Again, the question. Can I give someone permission to interfere me and to interfere a certain boundary with my permission without hurting me? Yes? If the answer is yes, tell me how. If no, tell me how. Like whatever. Like yes or no, tell me how. Yes, Christine. Christine or something?
Yes. Like our fathers of confessions, like obviously we tell them stuff that I wouldn't tell everyone else, but I'm giving them permission to know that information.
Why?
Because you trust them and
you trust, and there is a benefit now from the interference. Can you apply this to the skin? Who can you give him or her permission to cut your skin? Doctor, surgeon? Please cut it. Please cut it. And you go to the hospital fully, with your full permission. And you lay down, and then they give you anesthesia, and you say كل الهاري بقى وانت في الأوضة العمليات بتقولوا كلام مش تمام خالص شمال شمال. And then you get out happy with the interference of the doctor who make you bleed, but you know it's for you. You know that this person. But what happened? It's because of your permission. And that's why I cannot force anyone to confess. I can't. Can I? I can't pressure anyone to give me permission to interfere. I can't. I can ask you, can I cut your skin? No. Okay? بلاش. And that's why حتى في الhospitals they do what? The agreement does that you have to sign it. If you didn't sign, the doctor will not interfere by law. This is by law. Why? Because it's a boundary. Skin is a boundary. Your privacy is a boundary. No one is allowed to get in without your permission. And that's why you have to know what do you share with who. Not only what, with who. You are sharing some information with who. That's why when I asked it in the beginning, and Hirmina told me in the beginning that yes, we are sharing a lot of stuff which shouldn't be shared. He is right. So what are you going to share? This is very important, as Mina mentioned. But with who? That's the most important. Who is the person you are going to share this information with? Boundary problems. We have two ways of this problem. Either you do not know the boundaries or others, or you know but you pass it. And definitely that others don't know your boundaries. So it's two ways. It's two ways. Either you set a boundary and the others are not respecting it, or others set boundaries and you are not respecting it. One day, this is a funny one, it's okay, I will say. Okay, so, one of the kids, middle school going to high school, I get an information from one of his friends that he is like almost porn addict, almost addict on porn, which is like young age for that. يعني accepted if older, it's okay, we're both okay. Like with this age, little hard, I forgive above, لكن ده لا. So what happened, guys? I'm just kidding. So you know what? Like this is like something that we have to.
Leave to your opinion here.
Oh no. No, I'm just kidding. So what happened that I decided I have to interfere with this guy. So I went there and I told the mother, because his mother overprotective. I said, listen, sometimes I was saying very nicely, sometimes the kids at this age they can see unappropriate images or something like that. I said, yeah, I know, but like thank God my son is not. I said, like maybe he is not like telling you, no, I know my son. And inside I know she doesn't know anything. And I know that I can't say, but قفلتني already. No, you know what? Like non-intentionally, he may be مثلا something best. No. I know. I said, like, from where you have this confidence? Tell me a reference بتاعك. He said, no, because I always check on him by force. I said, really? I said, yeah. I get inside while he is doing anything. I check the computer, so I'm like an FBI agent on him. I said, and you didn't find anything? She said, no. So that's why I'm sure. So to some point, I said, oh, really? Maybe the information is like not really, not accurate. Okay, so do you mind to talk to? Yeah, sure. I'm gonna come visit. So I came, I visit. Oh, hi يا ابني وعامل ايه وبتاع يا ابونا وبتاع ضربته ومش عارف يا ابني ده اقعد في الاوضه عندك مش هقعد مع الناس دي وبتاع. قال لي let's go to my room. So I entered the room. وقعدنا نتكلم وبتاع. What do you think? And then like, well, Baba, Mama, everything is great. He said, yeah, Baba's great. Mama is not. I said, why? He said, I feel I'm living with a police officer. I said, why? She is like really annoying. She can come at any point. I don't feel that I have any privacy in this. I don't have any privacy. But you know what, Abuna? I have my privacy. قلت له ايوه كده. انا بقى عايز اللي انت انا عايز البرايفسي بتاعتك. I have my privacy. قلت له good job. Where? They were giving him, like a masroof, which is like allowances. And they're just giving you like 10, 20, whatever. He saved money. He got a used tablet online. He got used tablet online, and he is having it. So he said, like, if you look here, my computer is clean. My phone is nothing. She cannot find anything. I said, yeah, and I had it. She thinks she is smart. I said, yeah, do you mind if I... yeah, well, check, go ahead. But definitely, I just got the tablet and I went to do a history. That's it. And what are you doing? I said, no, I'm just going to see the history. What are you doing? What are you looking for on regular basis? أول حاجة طلعت لي حاجة كده مسخرة. That's what you hide from mama? I freezed قال لي لا, not only this. قلت له أيوة. قل لي الباقي بقى. قلت بقى قاعد يتكلم. I said, listen, we need to stop it. But what happened? Why? Here is the question. Why he opened up to me and he didn't open up to mama? But he hid it. Because of not respecting boundaries. Mama didn't respect his privacy. He hid it intentionally. But when I didn't force him. We just talked. And I told him in the beginning, listen, whatever we are going to say is just between me and you, and I'm here to help you. I don't want you to hurt yourself. He said, and he started to talk. I feel bad after watching that stuff, Abuna, but I don't know how to stop. So I said, listen, let's go together. Let's do something to stop it. Do you mind to put, I asked him, do you mind to put a security on your tablet? And the only one to have this security is me? He said, yeah, it's okay, Abuna, that's good. I put security. You know, from the phones you can secure the tablet, so I can check what he is. We did it for some time, just me and him, till he is fine and done. And we started to send him, listen, I want you to read that stuff. Just read it. So I send him like biblical verses, chapters from the Bible. I send him video links, but another videos, good videos about like good stuff, biblical stuff, comments, but small videos, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Now what happened? Made a shift with his permission. So it's not being by force. And his mom, up till now, she doesn't know anything about that. Up till now. And I'm telling you a story that happened like 4 years ago. This kid, not a kid anymore, is last year of high school, so not a kid anymore. And his mom is still the same, and is still the same, and always coming to me and saying, I'm tired. Why? Interference. This is not respectful. We have to know that. But sometimes we know, but we don't do. We know, but we don't know. 4 types of people. I don't know which one you are going to be in. We are going to explain them. I'm going to explain the 4 types of people concerning boundaries. First category of people, compliance. Saying yes to the bad, yes to everything. Yes to everything. It's exactly like the girl which I told you. She was with someone and he told her, I would love to be with you in not just holding your hands, but hold everything. So she allowed him and said, he asked me respectfully. لا طيب, لا جدع صراحة. لا, but I'm asking respectfully, but it's okay. خش. I can. I say yes. I say yes. I can't say no to him. Why didn't you say no? هقول له لا. ما ممكن يزعل من ده يتفلت. ما يزعل ولا يتفلت في اليوم اللي معاه. You get that? But it's okay. So they say yes to the bad. They say yes to the bad. And that's one of the main problems for the compliance. Say yes to the bad. Okay? And that's why you can't differentiate them from the environment. Why? Because they say yes to anything. Whatever the thing is, they say yes to anything. That's the problem. And saying yes to everything, no, it's not good. You have to say no to bad things. And you have to differentiate between that. That's what should be. Because it's very confusing. Very confusing. And please, don't say, I don't know what's bad and what's good. Don't say it. Maybe like kids up to 6 years old. After that, they know very well what's bad and what's wrong, right? So don't say that. And if you don't know, ask. Ask. But sometimes we say that, and like, what can we do? Oh, just say no. And that's why the church is trying to help you to say no. Through what? برافو عليك يا أمانة. ربنا يحفظك. بتكلم مع أسيس صغير. She said fasting. Fasting is one of the things in the church that tell you say no. We say no to certain kind of food. Yeah, mostly all the year, but it's okay, I accept it. But listen, saying no to food is the first thing to say no to any other desire. No to food is the beginning. That's the fasting. And that's why even it is called breakfast, which it's a break fast. Because you have been fasting from midnight or after in the night, right? And then in the morning you started eating, which is break fast. This is true, I'm serious. This is how they put the word breakfast. It's a breaking fast. You break the fast. And that's why we should fast. Not just fast for some time, but fast for certain things. Say no. We can't say no. Sometimes we say yes to anything. And that's why sometimes you take decisions in your life and you never follow. You take decision, I want to be healthy, I'm going to go to the gym. So you go. Number one, you pay for LA Fitness or Planet Fitness or whatever, a donation. That's a donation. هو ريجولار بيزنس كده بتدي دونيشن كده لله والله يعني بتدي له دونيشن يعني this is your donation يعني this for me يعني كده $40 كده بس just for LA عشان يعملوا مباني جديده ويجيبوا اجهزه وبتاع. Are you sharing in this center؟ يعني where are you؟ بس لا. You know what? Paying the money that means I'm going. وبعد كده يجيب اللبس clothing fit enough. That's it. خلاص. Have you been to the gym? لا. I have the clothing and I have the membership. So don't worry about it. You know what? And then he said, especially for those who decided to make a diet. This is the last day. So the last day you eat everything in the house. Everything. You eat everything. Tomorrow, خلاص. Tomorrow is the diet. Tomorrow comes, nothing happened. You either purchase another stuff or you feel that هرميها يعني نرمي الأكل. ما ترمي الأكل. No, actually, this is one of the things. When I was a kid, I was playing in one of the professional clubs. So anyway, I was having training and then coming home. So I'm coming home after training, 2 hours running. I really want to eat everyone in the house, even eat my family themselves. But I eat everything. So I start, listen, I'm serious. Just stand in front of the fridge, open the fridge and eat anything. ماما بقى عندي عرفت she knows about this فتيجي تقف جنب عملت ايه النهارده في التمرين والحمد لله وجريت قد مش I'm caring what she's saying. انا بيتك دلوقتي جعان انا عايز اكل بس she's قال ماما she's بتطلع برافو حبيبي good job يا بابا انا فاهمين and then ماما started بقى ايه in the fridge to put in front of me anything instead of going to the garbage like ايه فانا بقيت انا فتبتدي بقى ايه طب مش تاكل من اللحمه دي اصل ماما no thank you and I'm going to eat the other stuff لان this one is like full of carbs and I shouldn't eat that so I'm focusing on proteins that I will teach her because of the training and stuff so no mama I'm not going to هيترمي ما يترمي انا مش الزباله يا ماما ليه عاملين معامله الباسكت ليه وكنت اقول لها كده مش انا ليه ترموه ما انتوا اللي عملتوه ما كلتوهوش انا ده So I learned how to say no. Because if I didn't so and I gained weight, they were going to punish me. In the في النادي هيعلقوني بره كنا بنضرب بضرب الصفار زمان كانت حاجه صعبه جدا طارق معلم بالضرب. Because I don't want to put myself in this situation. Why? Because there is a discipline. So I can't say yes. I can't say no. I don't know. No, I know. And you have to say no. So do you say no? Do you learn how to say no or you say yes to everything? Listen to this. Many compliant people realize too late that they are in dangerous or abusive relationships. Their spiritual and emotional radar is broken. They have no ability to guard their hearts. Because of continuous yes, no. And that's why they couldn't protect themselves. And this is happening for different reasons, number of different reasons. What are those reasons in your opinion? Why compliance can't say no? They say yes to everything. Why? Tell me.
They want to be loved.
What?
They want to be loved.
Want to be loved. Sarah mentioned this. Want to be loved, الناس they will hate me if I say no. So خلاص اوكي نروح.
Guilty.
Feeling guilty زي ما كارن بتقول. Feeling guilty is very bad, No, مش كلهم عايزين. ما هي the girl felt guilty to say to him no. فقالت لك اقول يس وخلاص ما جراش حاجه والموضوع يعدي ويتليس باي حاجه ونقول لابونا في الاخر. ابونا ده ايه؟ طبعا لا ما ليستش الموضوع الحقيقي. But anyway, what's happening? That I am a afraid to lose people, so I want to gain people. مش عايز كده. What else? Why?
They don't want to stand up. They don't want to be the odd person out.
I don't want to be the odd one, Raymond said. I don't want to be the odd one. Let's go with the flow. يعني عليا. Fear of hurting others' feelings by saying no. Fear of abandonment and separateness. They are going to be isolating me. Us. Fear, wish to be totally dependent on another. I want them to tell me what to do. You know what? At this point, I don't want to take the decision. But take the decision. It's for you. Fear of someone else's anger. Sometimes we do that. We say yes because مش عايز مشاكل. Yeah, just okay. I will do whatever you want. That happens. Sometimes it happens with husbands and with wives. يعني one of the husbands, he came. It's funny, and he was telling me a story. And I said, like, you shouldn't have said yes. You shouldn't have said like yes. You should have said no, and all this mess shouldn't happen. He responded to me and said, Abuna, you are right because we are standing in the parking lot. But if you are in the kitchen, in front of my house, in front of my wife's face, definitely we say yes. Because she is going to ruin the whole community, not just me. So I said, yeah, I feel what you are saying. So sometimes the anger from the other person will make you say yes, although you don't want to. Fear of punishment. I'm afraid of punishment. Say yes to avoid any consequences. Fear of being shamed. Fear of being seen as bad or selfish, because if I said no, that means I'm going to do something different, at least to present another opinion or opposite opinion. Fear of being unspiritual, because from a spiritual point of view, we have to say harder. We have to say yes. This is not true. Say harder and yes to good things. Not to everything. Who said so? That's not existing. Fear of one's overstrict critical conscience. That's how we are afraid. Second type, controllers. Controllers not respecting the other's boundaries. So the first type, compliance. Say yes to everything. Listen, I'm going to ask you at the end which one you are in the four. You are not going to tell me, but like you classify yourself, okay? Second type, controllers. They are not respecting the other's boundaries, and they come in two types. What are? The first type is called the aggressive controller, which is simply they are very aggressive. They do not listen to others' boundaries. Very aggressive. Whatever you say whatever you want. Say whatever you want. I'm going to do something completely different. Right? Which we say it my way or no way or the highway, whatever. Both are right. It's not a biblical verse, but it's okay. Aggressive control. So aggressive control is this: I'm very aggressive. You say whatever you say. I'm going to say something different. I am going to do it. That's the problem. It's not just about saying now. It's about doing. Okay? The other type is manipulative controllers. They manipulate you. They listen to you and take you to their direction. And then they always use the guilt messages. Which is simply the guy used with the girl. I told her, why when he said it respectfully to you, you said yes? She said, if you said no, that means you don't love me. هو انا امشي في الحرام يبقى ما بحبكش؟ يعني امشي شمال عشان ابقى بحبك؟ ليه يعني؟ ليه؟ You get the idea? That's exactly. So it's a guilt message. يعني انت ما بتحبنيش؟ لا مش طايقاك، غور من هنا. ايه المشكلة يعني؟ ما انا نشوف غيره. You get the idea? So we have both, and that's the case of Jacob. Do you know that the name of Jacob means deceiver? So Jacob deceived who? deceived his brother, and actually he's a deceiver all over his term. Yeah, he's a deceiver in general. He's a deceiver, and got supported by who? By his mom. Karsa. It's a disaster. To make this kind of trick in his brother. Manipulative controller. Why we said manipulative controller? Number one, he passed the boundary of his brother and of his father. And of the rules at that time, right or wrong. He is not the older one. He is the younger one. So it's clear. He passed all that by being manipulative. He knows the information? Yes. He didn't? No. He manipulated it. So even in the Bible, people like that. Non-responsive, third type. Not hearing the needs of others. Not hearing. Yani the previous one, they know, but they want to. They ignore it. Either aggressively or in a manipulative way. You get the idea? Those are different. Not hearing it even يعني from the beginning يعني. أنا مش هسمع اللي أنتوا بتقولوه. بصوا كده. In Matthew chapter 7 from verse 1 to verse 5. This is the part, if you open it, this is the part which God said it clearly, do not judge others, and if you found a speck in one's eye, just remove the speck from your eye first before removing it. So you have to look at yourself. But non-responsives, they don't hear others, they don't see, and that's why they are the most judgmental type. Very judgmental. They don't hear you. They don't put themselves in other shoes ever. So, the previous one, they hear you, they don't do it intentionally, whether aggressively or manipulative. Those, they don't hear you, they don't care actually about your opinion. They don't care. So if you don't care, how are you going to respect the boundary of someone else? If you don't care, you already don't care. And that's why do not merely look out for your own personal interest, but also for the interest of others. That's in Philippians chapter 2, verse number 4. That's what the Bible said. Which is simply put yourself in others' shoes. Not only for your interest, because it may hurt others around you. 4 types of people. The last one is avoidant. You see here? So, do you understand this? So, this is the type. This is the type. This is they can't say, they can't hear. Here is no and yes. So, compliant people, they can't say no. They can't say no. You get the idea of this graph? Mm-hmm. So, those people, they cannot say no. Those, the controller, they cannot hear no. They cannot hear no. Those, the non-responsive, they cannot say yes to anything because they don't hear you in the beginning. Say yes for what? They can't say yes. They just follow their opinions. The avoidant, they cannot hear yes. They avoid everything. That's the 4th type. Avoidant. They isolate themselves. You know what? Setting boundaries will make others upset. I'm not going to set it. I'm not going to deal with people. I'm going to be myself. That's why they can't hear yes to anything. I'm avoiding anything. We have 10 laws of boundaries. Now we know types. So definitely you put yourself in the 4 things. Who are you? You are which one of the 4? Just review them. Because you need to know whom you are, so that I'm going to give you 10 laws of boundaries. 10 laws. Pick and choose which one you like. You may like 5 of those, 10, the 10, 3, 4, whatever. But those laws of boundaries, if you put it in your mind, it will help you a lot to have boundaries and to respect the boundaries of others. I'm serious. It's a good training to take them. So, those 10 laws can be used anywhere? The answer is yes, 100%. It can be used at work, can be used with any boss or manager, can be used with parents, can be used with friends, can be used with anyone you deal with on a regular basis. 100% approved. And I'm going to give you resources, the references at the end. Okay? 10 laws. First one, law of sowing and reaping. What does it mean? You have to understand this law very well, because this is how it goes. You reap whatever you sow. If you sow to your own flesh, you will reap corruption from the flesh. But if you sow the Spirit, you will reap eternal life from the Spirit. What does it mean? Simply, there are consequences for everything. Law of sowing and reaping has not been repeated, it is operating. You have to know, whatever done have consequences, good and bad. Whatever done have consequences, good and bad, for you and for others. So if you did something, do not hang it on others' mistakes. If it is your mistake, just it is your mistake, and that's it. Keep it that way. Much safer. I'm going to take this, like, okay, I did that, I deserve that. That's it. Easier. It's easier. Others doing it, do not defend. If something did something wrong, they deserve this, it's okay, done. There is here a clear boundary. Why? This will help me to put boundaries between me and the others. Yes. If you are in a job, and someone did something wrong, automatically there will be consequences. Maybe cutting salary, maybe cutting hours, right or wrong. If you are a manager now, are you going to cut these hours or not? No, I'm not, because he has kids and that means you are going to follow the rules. And that means you are going to ruin the whole organization. Because if someone else saw that guy did something wrong and you already passed it and nothing happened, he will do the same. So there is consequences. That's a boundary. Sow and reap. Whatever it did, you have the consequences of it. That's it. It looks simple, but it is hard to apply. And that's why we shouldn't continue rescue another person from any consequences. Do not do that. They will never learn. They will never learn. If you always keep saving someone from something, nothing will be learned at this point. Nothing. So you are not setting the boundaries between you and that person. If you are in a relationship and she is always negative or he is always aggressive, you have to stop that. Listen, if you keep talking to me in this aggressive way, this is very disrespectful. I don't think our relationship will be continued at this point. This is a boundary. Don't talk to me like that. Clear. And I'm going to leave you if you keep talking the same way. Vice versa. She's always negative and very dramatic. Listen, I'm not that person. I'm very positive. And you being in this kind of drama all the time, that's not my personality. So if you keep doing that, I don't think it will be going well. Just say it. No, I'm afraid I'm going to lose her. Believe me. Lose her now instead of losing your life later on. Lose him now instead of losing your life later on. This is a respect to boundary. And that's why you need to establish those kind of boundaries. You have to. This is the consequences of that. If you keep talking to me like that, I am not going to talk to you. I'm not going to respond to your messages. If it is having whatever, if I notice that your messages is having any kind of disrespect to me or to my family, I'm not going to complete in this relationship unless you stop. So we read. It's very important. And that's why people are very irresponsible at this point. And that's why we have to do that. Law number 2, law of responsibility. If you did something, please take the responsibility of what you are doing. This is actually a good boundary. Take the responsibility. And love responsibility includes loving others. Love each other as I have loved you. This is a responsibility. So, part of your responsibility is to respect the other's boundaries. This is part of your responsibility. This is the second law. If you want others to respect your boundary, you have to be responsible for respecting them. Otherwise, why you are if you are interfering in others' boundaries, why you want them to respect you? For what reason? You didn't take the responsibility. And that's why we need to treat each other the way we treat, like what should be treated. And that's why it is not only in the giving, but in the setting of the limits to another's destructive, irresponsible behavior. So be responsible about your behavior, and others respect their boundaries. This is the law of responsibility. Third one, law of power. What's law of power? Power of what? Power to do some things that will bring fruits in victory later. Like what? You have the power to agree with the truth about your problems, which is the confession. You have the power, by the way, which I mentioned in the beginning, and Christina mentioned. She told me, I allow my father of confession. I gave him the permission to interfere in my problems, but you have the power. So you have to know that you are the one in control of your life. Believe it or not, you are the one in control of your life. No one ever can control your life. I'm telling you from now, please. If you want to be very successful in this life on earth, have the law of power. You are in full control to your life, full control. No one ever can control your life. Ever. It's not existing. You are a fully independent person. Take your personal decisions and tell yourself, this is my decision. So if your decision is to go on the wrong track, it's your decision. It's okay. You have the power for that. And you have the power as well not to fall. It's all about you. You have the power to search and ask God. And you have the power to ask anyone else. You have the power. You have the power to turn from evil. You have the power to follow evil. It's all in your hands. Just understand that you have the power. But understanding this will help me to set up boundaries? Definitely. Because if you know that the power is in your hands, you can say no to someone saying something not matching your boundary. It's all in your hands. No one ever on earth can tell you what to do. It's all in your hands. Law of power. You can have the power to humble yourself, and you can have the power to be cocky and arrogant. It's all in your hands. It's your power. And that's why your behavior is under your power. It's your choice. So you have to understand that so you can set the boundaries which you can fit for whatever you want. Matthew 5:23-24. Therefore, if you are offering your gift at the altar and there remember that your brother has something against you, leave your gift there in front of the altar. First go and be reconciled to your brother, then come and offer your gift. This is a power you have. Can use it, you cannot. But if you going to mix two of the laws, so if you follow that rule using the power of doing that, you will be having the consequences of it, which is love, caring, support from God, peace of mind. If you use your power not to do that, remember the first one, sowing and reaping. Whatever you do, take the consequences of it. So if you didn't do that and you say, you know what, I have a lot of conflicts and people hate me, it's your power. You choose to. If you choose arrogance, it's your choice. If you choose humbleness, it's your choice. Law of power. You cannot change others around you, but you can change yourself. You don't have any authority over anyone to change them, by the way. You can give advices, I agree with you, but that doesn't mean people will follow what they are saying. So you have to understand this mindset, because sometimes we interfere with others to change their. You are never going to change anyone. Never. As no one can change you. If you decided to change your attitude, that's your decision. Law of power. So the same for others. So respect your power so others can respect their powers. And that's why you can only have influence, but you cannot change others around you. 4, law of respect. Very important. Respect yourself. Respect your rights. And respect others' rights. Why you want to listen? Why do you want the others to listen to your opinion and you are not listening to them? Why? And that's why there is difference between respecting others' opinions and accepting others' opinions. Respect is to listen, put it in consideration. Accepting is agreeing about it. Did we say law of acceptance or respect? It's respect. You can say that, it's fine. That's your point of view, which is different than mine. That's it. It will help you a lot if you respect others, because usually respect is mutual. And that's why we don't judge. Because people who judge others, they do not respect others' boundaries, because you judge them from outline, but you didn't know what will happen. I have actually something that happened, yeah. Like one lady came to the church. She's not from our church, she's from another church, and she said like she wanna come attend with us one of the liturgies. That's like years ago, and she came. And after the liturgy, she said, Abuna, I just wanna sit with you. I said, yeah, I have appointments, but definitely you can something. You are very welcome, and we are happy to see you in the church. I said, yeah. I just wanna sit with you. Yeah, maybe she needs something. Yes, oh, this is me, I'm so and so. So I'm from this church. Oh, yeah, welcome. I'm very happy to have you today. I'm blessed. I have some concerns and I want to tell you about it. Say, yeah, sure, definitely. It's some concerns in the liturgy. I said, yeah, because I always in any liturgy I do in the church, I do sermon, like a lecture. Any liturgy. Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, any liturgy have a lecture. And I prepare it very well, so people knows that. So I said, yeah, I would love to hear, because I'm definitely I would love to hear whatever. She said, like, I found a lot of people during the liturgy looking at their phones. I said, yeah. She said, and there are a couple of women over there. They were actually talking to each other. I said, yeah. What else did you notice in the liturgy? So there is like some of the girls were sitting there, and I don't think their way during the liturgy is respectful. No, their way is not respectful to the liturgy. And I noticed two of the guys on the other side were looking at them. Which is like simply the judge of the game, the soccer. I said, yeah, what else did you notice? Because this is very important concern. Like right now, you made my day. She said, yeah, okay, so if you give me this, I will give you like full report. I said, yes, please, because this is very important. And for me, this is important. What else? Did you notice anything else? I said, yes. Two of the deacons, and this is something not acceptable. They were standing over there with their shoes on, over there. Two of the deacons. I said, no, I'm going to send them to any mosque our place. They will not going to be in our church anymore, so don't worry about that. I need names for these people. Yes, you know. The ladies I told you in the beginning, they were sitting in the front, and the girls were sitting. I made her feel that way. And then I said, like, did you notice anything in the liturgy, or you didn't get a chance? He said, tell me, I can tell you anything in the liturgy. I said, did you notice what was the reading of the Bible of today? She said, I think, just remind me كده أقول هرمين يوم the Bible. الراجل يقول لا بجد أهو. فقالت لي, you know what, Abuna, I'm doing this for the sake of the church. I said, yeah, you know what, this makes a lot of sense for me. So next time, God willing, when you come to the church, so when you were sitting, she said, I was sitting in the back. I said, yeah, no, I want to change your spot. She said, wait. She said, okay. So we were sitting in the back, like talking. Okay. So I came with her like this, and I get a chair like this, and I put it here. I said, okay, the deacons will be here. I will be inside. I want you to sit here, facing the congregation. Have a pen and paper. And anyone doing anything, just write it down and write me the name. Or go tell them. Okay, Friday, لا سيهم وايد كده. What did he say? It's exactly this. Being very judgmental. It's very judgmental. And I told her, listen, this is not how to. I would love for you next time not to come to sit over there. I would love for you to come sit here, just in front of the altar. And if you cannot focus on the altar, please close your eyes. Otherwise, I don't think coming to the church is going to make any sense for you. She was laughing because of my way, because it was sarcastic in a way that she was laughing with me. But I said, I'm telling you this out of love to you. Now you're not going to benefit anything. And I teach her this law. Respect others. They will respect you. You don't know that these people, the two guys whom you said that they have, one of them had a surgery. You don't know why they are standing like that. You don't know why others do that. Did you check the phones of people? Maybe they are reading what I'm saying. I have a lot of people in the church. I'm serious about that. A lot of people in my church, they use their phones because they take notes from the lectures. So they took notes. A lot, even the kids. So, this is something which I train them to do so that they can benefit from anything and put it on their phones. So I said, do you know that? Maybe they are following Come to Creed, or maybe they can't read from the screen, so they follow. You don't know anything. You don't know. Again, it's all about that. Do to others what you would have them to do to you. That's the key for the law of respect. Matthew 7:12. Do to others what you want them to do for you. Respect others' boundaries so they can treat you as you treat them. They can treat you as you treat them. 5. Law of motivation. What? Motivation for what? Motivation for boundaries? Yeah. But let's take it in that way. Those are the false motivations. Don't let those motivations to be the motivation for your boundary, because it will not be successful. Which is what? Remember the fears we mentioned, why people can't say no? Remember that? When you have fear of losing others, fear. That's the wrong motivation. That's called the law of motivation. Make the motivation to the things which we already mentioned. Those are the motivation things. Do not let those motivation to be your law in setting boundaries. Do not do that. So the law of motivation is to be motivated to have good boundaries. Not because of that. Not because of that. Law of evaluation. Evaluation? Like evaluating people? No. Evaluate the effect of setting boundaries and be responsible to the other person. That does not mean you should avoid setting boundaries because someone responds with hurt or anger. Evaluate the effect of setting the boundaries. Evaluate your boundaries. Because sometimes you put extra boundaries without evaluation. Even give an example. One of the fathers came to me, and then his daughter came like 10:30. He said like things very like in a bad way, like really. He insulted her because his limitation at home was 10. I said, يعني. And she was crying and she called me and she said, he doesn't want me to get inside the house. I said, what? Why? Why, حبيبتي انت عملت ايه? I came late. I said, why? You came late for what? Like, it was 10:30. So she called me like 10:45, nothing. Because she went inside, he made all this big deal, and then he said, okay, wait outside. No, I'm not going to let you in right now. What? And then I go, why? Okay, Habib. So, hold on, yes, calm down, don't worry. She said, I'm worried, like, if he doesn't allow me to go inside, so where I'm going. So I said, don't worry, just be in the streets till the morning, so don't worry. I was going, don't worry, just be in the streets, don't worry. And even if the police, like, arrested you, so don't worry, I will get you in the morning, pay you will get that. So the moment that you will be fine. Please, what? I said, no, just can't stop. Why? He said, he insulted, and then she was crying and stuff, I just make it late, يعني. وبعدين قلت لها, so what's your time can impact? So she said 10. I said, so when did you arrive at the house? She said like 10:20 something, 10:30. I said, oh, so it's not يعني not a big deal. I mean, like مش 10 مثلا I get 1, it's like 30 minutes. يعني. So I said, no, why did you late? يعني, what's happened? I said, nothing. We were in it was an event. Not a birthday, but an event. And they get late in the dinner. The dinner, sometimes it's not in your hand, actually, because it's a restaurant. So they get late in the dinner, and they get late in the payment because they were a big group. And she was not driving. So simply she was with others. So one of the mothers dropping, taking they take rides. So she was like taking this to her house, and this to her house, and then she dropped her. So she dropped her last. That's it, yeah. It's nothing intentional. So I told him, I said, no, she's not respecting the rules. So I told him, I think you need to evaluate your rules. You need to evaluate the boundaries you did. Because according to what you said is right, but according to what she said, there should be some other sort of evaluation. He said, if I passed her one time, she's going to do that all the time. I said, no, this is not true. You have to evaluate the decision, evaluate the rule itself. Actually, the rule itself, it doesn't make sense. You allowed her to go out with her friends at 6:30. Expectations will not be ever 4 hours, 3 hours, never. It should be more. In an event, not happening every day. Why not to make it 11? Why not to tell her, just call me once you finish just to know where are you? This is an event. And then I told him that the police officers on the road, even if they put like 65 the speed limit, they have like 5-10 miles, like it's fine, if you pass it, it's okay. I said, like, there should be something like that. You need to evaluate, law of evaluation. Evaluate the effect of setting your boundaries. Sometimes you put boundaries which shouldn't be put, or you should adjust it, increase it, decrease it. Maybe you set some boundaries between you and people around you that's not allowing people to get in touch with you. And then you say, I don't have friends. Maybe you are the one is keeping a lot of privacy and you don't communicate with people in the right way. Why? It's because of their fault. Maybe you put the boundaries in a way which need to be adjusted, re-evaluated. Evaluate the pain of our confrontation that causes other people. You have to evaluate that as well. If you confront someone like this guy, like this father and his daughter, no need for that. No need, just be more understanding. That's what one mentioned. All what we want is be more understanding. That's it. Law of proactivity. Proactivity? What's proactivity? Yes. Proactive people are able to love others as themselves. They are able to die to self and not return evil for evil. Proactive people. Law of proactivity is simply, if you want to have boundaries with others, go to others. It doesn't mean to talk to others that you are not putting boundaries with them. Love them, respect them, but put boundaries between you and them. So if you are proactive and you went to people and started this kind of relationship with others, believe it or not, they will be very happy with you. That's the proactive one. You have heard eye for eye, tooth for tooth, but I tell you, do not resist an evil person. If someone strikes you on your right cheek, turn to him the other also. That's our Christianity. Be proactive with others. I'm not telling you to, and this is actually what happened with Jesus. When the guy in the court, he slapped him. What did Jesus did? He turned around and said what? Why are you slapping me? He put a boundary. He didn't say, oh please slap me again. No, he said, why are you doing this? I didn't do anything to deserve to be slapped. That's what Jesus said. Right or wrong? So be proactive in going to communicate with people, but at the same time exactly do what? Do boundaries. That will help you to communicate better. Be proactive. Law of envy. Law of envy. We have to envy? Yeah. That's what we are doing. We envy what? If we are focusing on what others have or have accomplished, we are neglecting our responsibilities. And that's one of the main problems. We envy others. Law of envy. Every time you are envying others, looking at what they are having, you will never be able to develop yourself. Because how are you going to develop yourself and you are focusing on the others? And that's why we became unthankful nowadays. Yes, we are unthankful. Because instead of thanking God about what we are having, we are complaining about what we are not having or about what others have which we do not have. Right or wrong? And that's why we became unthankful. Law of envy. Don't envy anyone. Be with yourself, which is simply, it's not your business. They are successful. God bless. Try to copy, develop, grow. Where is the area of your growth? Having the gifts different according to the grace that is given to us, let us use them. Romans chapter 12, verse number 6. Use your qualities which God created in you. Don't focus on others' qualities. Focus on yours. Maybe you can use them. Law of activity. Activity in what? Like being active, you mean? No. Many times we have boundary problems because we lack initiative. Just be initiative in setting your boundaries. Be initiative in setting the boundaries. Sometimes people come to me and say like, he doesn't know how to put boundaries. Did you put yours? Put yours first. Be active in this. Be active in setting the boundaries between you and the people around you. This is your responsibility. Law of responsibility. Law of activity. But my neighbors, my righteous one, will live by faith, and if he shrinks back, I will not be pleased with him. Law of exposure, which is the last law of the 10. Law of exposure, which is simply expose your boundaries. People need to know, I don't like that. I like that. I do not like that. I like that. Say it. By the way, tell you a story that happened with me. I went to Egypt like a couple of years ago, and that happened with me. So, in Egypt, definitely all of you, most of you have Egyptian like foundation. Have you been to Egypt, right? And you deal with Egyptians. So, Egyptians, they do not eat for living. No, they live to eat. And the way to make you happy is to eat more, as much as possible till you die. This is the target. So I went to Egypt in a conference. I was sent there by Sayyidina to give a conference over there to one of the bishops in Sweden Khadamat. Anyway, I was there for actually a conference. And then, after I finished, I got 2 days to see my family. So simply, seeing my family and my wife's family in only a day and a half, horrible. Because they make spots for us, spots. So the first spot is like 15 person, second spot 20, here 8, and so on. Like 4 spots. 4 spots from the beginning of the day till night. Although I eat only 2 meals and snacks in between, definitely I have to eat 4 times. The problem is the 4 times you eat almost same food. مكرونة بالبشاميل، بفتك، فراخ مشوية، والهري ده، والمحشي. I'm not a person who eats carbs. I don't eat carbs, I cut carbs. I eat little carbs per year actually. But I eat a little carbs. I'm taking care of my health and I work out, this is my lifestyle, nothing wrong with it. So I work out 6 days a week and I go to the gym and this is very important to me. And I really take care of eating. So I eat a lot of proteins, a lot of vegetables, and I don't eat carbs. So the first visit, مرمطة بقى. You can name a food, it is there. And all the food is very tasty, which means it's not healthy because it's tasty. Ate, it's fine, 1 day, done. Finish first visit. Second visit was after the first visit by only 2 hours. So even the digestive system of any human being, not just me, any human being, even if I went to the gym in these 2 hours, will never be able to digest this food, but should be digested. So I went there, the second visit. Oh, you have all kind of, you have to eat. Tant, I ate, believe me. Tant, I went there and I ate this. No, حبيبي, لا. Did you eat the mahshi? I ate. بس محشي ما فيش غيره. I ate mahshi. Thank you so much. بس I really appreciate ان احنا كلنا متجمعين. لا هزعل. لا بس حضرتك انا I don't want you to be upset I love you لازم تاكل محشي ده. فكلت محشي. وبعدين after I finished the محشي قال لي listen. We know that you love ice cream. I said, yeah, generally yes, but I don't think now I have any spot for the ice cream. But I remember that we just have 2 more visits. So, just need that. No, I get you some. So, I'm serious. I'm serious. No tart glass, which is the ice cream cake. It was like almost like the table. Because of a lot of people. And she told me, I will give you just a small piece. A small piece from this. هتبقى ايه؟ بدك كده قد كده. لا this is like it can fit for a family. Please eat. No, I couldn't. I ate as much as I can. And then I can't. So you know what? That الزيارة دي مش هتتحس. You should come again. Definitely. I will come again, but maybe within 10 years. let me digest this food in the next couple of years and then I will come back. خلاص بقى حرك وبتاع. رحت بقى فين؟ Copy paste. سيم محشي، سيم مكرونة، هو. وكان بعدها بقى almost like 2-3 hours. مش عارف هموت، مش عارف اعمل ايه. خلاص عايشة مش عارف وبعدين قاعد شبعان. مش عايز اكل. طب تشرب مش عارف. I really don't want. يا طنط مش عارف. فجت طنط كده جميله قالت لي what I feel ان انت يعني overwhelmed او حاجه يعني. I said yes. So I felt I felt she is the one who is going to feel me. she did exactly. على بالك بس تعالى. Come with me. So I went. So listen. I really I love you and I love all the طن كلهم. You know what? I feel that you are the one who is going to understand me. So she took me in the kitchen يعني in the kitchen كده قبل ما نخرجوا الحاجات دي كلها. What's wrong? قلت لها يعني هو nothing wrong. It is just my diet regimen. Like tell me. She was listening. I said, listen, I don't eat carbs because I work out. Yeah, wonderful يا حبيبي, wonderful. وانت ابونا كمان زي وقعدت بقى to praise وحاجات جميله جدا. I felt really خلاص. She is the one. She is the one understanding. So that's why I don't eat pasta. I don't eat mahshi. I don't eat them a lot. So and imagine I will start and I will start. So thank you for understanding. Why are we talking? فمادة كان في حالة من I'm serious, that happened. And she gets one صباع محشي كده قالت لي this محشي has no carbs, don't worry. So imagine she is talking to someone in my 40s telling me that this صباع محشي is not having carbs. So I felt ان انا عارفين العيل اللي بيبقى 3 years old بلبوسه قاله خالص وبيجري وهم بيجروا وراه يظبطوه بيزقوا له المحشي في بقه كده هتبلع دلوقتي. انا بالظبط حسيت ان انا كده العيل البلبوسه اللي بيجري وهم بيحلقوا عليه هات ويمسكوا زغطوا هيجري. انا قلت لها يا ستي yes this specific one is not having carbs. وبعدين انا educated enough انا صيدلي يعني انا يعني عارف يعني ايه كارب يعني لا ده ما فيهوش كارب حتى طعم ما فيهوش. انا قلت لك اعمل لك طبق بقى. انا اعمل جاب عليكي low exposure. So what happened? I exposed my boundaries, but what happened? They didn't respect. That's why one of the laws is the law of exposure. I'm telling you, but some other people they can still although expose, but you have to be consistent. Those are the laws. Which law you like the most? Those are the most. It's them. Take them. Put them in your pocket. Use them. Think about them. That will help you. That will help you a lot. Common boundary myth. What's this? What's like a myth is a fiction that looks like a truth. Sometimes it sounds true to the point that Christians believe it automatically. Really? Yes. Like this. Welcome to make a very small workshop. Not a workshop, but something. Myth number 1. If I set boundaries, I am being selfish. Right? No. We learned that. No, it's not selfishness. It's respect to yourself. 2. Boundaries are a sign of disobedience. No. I put my boundaries not because I'm a disobedient, because I'm obedient actually. That's why I'm obedient to God. That's why I put boundaries. I'm obedient to myself. That's why I put boundaries. If I'm setting boundaries, I will be hurt by others. That's never true. You will be hurt by others if you allow them to hurt you. If you accept anyone to disrespect you, that's how you are going to hurt yourself. If I set boundaries, I will hurt others. Never. Set boundaries, nobody will get hurt. And if they get hurt, that's their problem. That's not your problem. If they get hurt. Because this is your boundaries. Boundaries mean that I am angry. No. That's why be initiative. Go to people. But put boundaries. You are not angry. You just want to say no because of. If there is a no, there should be a reason, right? That's it. When others set boundaries, it injures me. No, it will injure you if you decided so. It will never injure you as long as you respect it. Boundaries cause feelings of guilt. No, it is not a feeling of guilt because you have the full right to have it. and the full right of others to respect it. Boundaries are permanent, and I am afraid of burning my bridges. Boundaries are not permanent. They are adjustable. You evaluate them and then put them in the right way, and you can readjust and go back and forth between them. And if you do not know, do what? Ask. If you do not know anything and you want to set a boundary, just ask. It will help you. I will end up with a story that happened with me. Please don't laugh at me because it's really embarrassing to me. So, this story actually happened to me, and because I was not learning enough about boundaries, so I was confused a lot. As Karen mentioned in the beginning, I was overwhelmed, exactly as Christine mentioned, but I was very curious as Sandra? Yes, as Sandra mentioned. Okay? That was in the beginning. So the story I'm telling you, that was when I was 20 years old, 19 going to be 20. 19 going to be 20. I was in Egypt. I'm going to give you just a small background that in Egypt, when I went there, I was living in Egypt. And living there, I was in, my school was only boys. I don't have my school was boys. I have one brother, so boys as well. And I was going to St. Anthony Church in Shopra. We were not allowed to take to this kind of creatures called girls. This is not allowed at that time. It is not allowed. Not even to see them. If you see them, you have to turn around, go from another street, and so simply at that age, the only female I know is mom. Who can take Allah? The only females I know. And we have Abuna Bakhu. Abuna, he was very strict, and if by mistake, you looked at any of the servants or the girls in the church, you will be fired. تتحط في الهمبازات، تحطوك في زيت مسجد كده هيبهدلونا. It will be tortured وتبقى مرضى you God forbid. فأنا this is my mentality. And then what happened that I passed the high school with a very high score. I got in pharmacy school. I didn't go to the pharmacy school yet. I was about to go there. My father said, listen, my father and my mother, my parents, they said, listen, we want to do something for you, so I'm going to send you to your uncle in the United States. My uncle living in California, and he said, we're going to send you to him just to have a 2 months off vacation, just enjoy your time, and this is your gift for having a high score and going to pharmacy school. Thank you. I went. So I came here in the States. As I told you, 19, going to be 20, not even 20 years old, just finished high school with this background. And I was sitting, second day, ما عملتش حخطط. وبعدين my uncle was sitting in front of me, his wife was sitting right beside him, like this, and I was sitting here. My cousin, someone coming from Egypt, so the whole family is gathering. The whole family was sitting around, and here is my cousin, and she was pregnant, my cousin. Nana, her name is Nana. And her mom was sitting right beside her, and the rest of the family. And then my uncle told me, do you have anything tomorrow? I said, no, عندي ايه؟ انا قاعد صايع شهرين. Whatever you are going to do, I'm going to follow. And then he told me, okay, so come with us to the shower tomorrow. Come with us. Shower with who يعني؟ قال لي shower with Nana. ايه ده؟ ايه اللي في القلب؟ فانا سكت شويه كده. قلت uncle is funny بقى in front of everyone وعمال بقى يعمل بقى هو بيقول نكت It's okay. Okay. And then he said, I'm serious. اتكلم كده طبعا let's talk about it بقى الناس تمشي. And this is it will be great. طبعا انا what's in my mind is what كنا مخوم boiling oil, I will be killed, the church كيريا ليسون I'm a servant انا مش عارف ايه ده بس مش عارف اعمل ايه. And then her mom please come هتتبسط قوي. ايه اللي في الادب؟ طب ده عمك ده بتتلعب شويه. And then I said listen I'm going to make fun يعني. فقلت لهم and George will be there. George is her husband. Where is George? Yeah, they said George will be the organizer of the event. قلت انا ده مريضه بقى ده مريضه كلنا بقى ده كلهم رايحين ده شاور جماعي وهو الاورجنايزر ده ايه الهدف دي؟ قلت ده كده ده I'm staying there for 2 months. ده second day. السكند day واحد على الشاور طبعا يغزل. فقلت حاجه غلط. فقلت اتحرك تاني قلت لهم and then we are going to take what بقى like شامبو بقى اجيب شامبو معايا وانا جايبه. قالوا لي get whatever you want. يا سلام. فقمت مش عارف اعمل ايه. really I'm confused بقى خالص confused و overwhelmed بقى. بعدين I didn't ask مش to ask. I didn't ask. So and then عمي my uncle he said like listen it will be a great time we will be all going there. ما قدرتش بقى. we all going. ايه اللي في القلب؟ تعالي my uncle listen I had been living with my father and my mother and my brother for 20 years. We never had shower together. طبعا شاور ايه انا؟ انت مين قال لك تروح شاور معانا؟ روح شاور مع انا. قال لي لا ده الشاور بتاع البيبي. انتوا فين البيبي؟ جوه. She's pregnant. فين البيبي ده؟ قال لي we shower the baby with gifts. فبنجيب له جيفتس واحنا رايحين. تقول لي كده او كنت فاكركم عيله شمال. So what happened when I'm telling you that I didn't ask? So I thought they are disrespecting my boundaries and my culture, and I am vice versa. It's not about that. If I ask them, I will put the right boundaries and how to talk, because understanding will make differences in that. That's actually the methods which we talk about. We just answered them, so I'm going to pass them. But those are the methods which we talk about, the 8 methods, okay? Those are the references, boundaries, when to say yes, how to say no, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Twансwood, who is pushing your buttons. Bible, Old Testament and the New Testament, that's all the references that we used. Okay? Thank you so much, and I'm really happy to be with you. This is me while I'm preparing the lecture. Okay? So, hope you enjoyed. And now it's 9, as we mentioned that we are going to finish at 9, so if you have any questions, anything? Yes, Sandra?
You mentioned earlier that you work out.
Oh yeah. How I work out? I go to the gym. I go to the gym in my community, so I go to the gym and I work out 6 days a week. I work out 6 days a week for hour and a half per day. This is my time.
No, so I meant it like in that.
Oh yeah, I go this to the gym. So yeah, I go with this to the gym. And most probably, like in the gym itself, there is like, usually I go in the time where I am by myself, honestly, because I usually go in the time where there is nobody there. So I take off the calorie because of myself, يعني مفيش حد عشان تشوفني يعني. When we work out and then I finish, it's in my community. It's not like LA Fitness or something. It's in my community. So you know, it's a gated community. So. It's very private one, and not people don't use it like as much. You know that, yeah. So that's how I do that. So I do that on regular basis, 6 days a week. So I do like cardio and I do lifting weights and I do some martial arts because I was doing martial arts for 14 years before being, you know. So I keep it. I didn't leave it. I just keep everything as is. That's how I do it. Yeah, it's discipline. It's my time. This is my time, and I do it every day. Yeah. Any other question? If you want to do anything. Any other question? What's your name?
How much do you bench?
A lot. What's your name? What's your name?
I'm Joe.
Joe. So I will tell you what I do, so you can think about what I'm doing in the bench if you want. So I'm not into high big weights. I'm doing the light weights with high frequency high numbers, so I can keep my muscles lean and fraction. Okay, so I do my cardio is I do 500 jump ropes, 100 push-ups, 50 pull-ups, and 500 set-ups as a warm-up.
This is breakfast.
And I do it fast. So simply I do that in 35 to 40 minutes. And then I lift weights because I go there on daily basis. So I lift I do 1 to 2 muscles per day, not all the muscles. So, and I focus on the muscle. That's why most likely I don't have fats a lot. I just have muscles more, but it is all lean. But that's why, so just think about the bench press if I'm telling you that, so no need to tell you numbers. Yes. Your name?
Irene.
Irene.
It's not a workout.
It's fine.
Do you think it's more difficult to set boundaries with Egyptians than Americans?
Yeah, you're
is
right.
that a cultural thing, or is
It is. There is a book, it's called Cultural Differences, written by Trumpner and Hampton.
By who? Sorry? By who?
Trumpner and Hampton. They, two guys, they did this. It's called Cultural Differences, and they said one of the worst cultures in their I don't want to say that, it's in the way that they react to others and others react to them is the Middle Eastern culture. So definitely it's part of the Middle East culture because they want to know everything about you. Oh, what did you eat? When? Did you cough? How many times? I eat whatever I eat. When? Whatever I want. That's what should be, but again. But difficult, but not impossible. If you insisted, you will. If you insisted, you will. Like, for example, I put a rule in my church in the beginning that I don't eat in any visits. Unless, some people invite me, oh, please come to eat with us, Abuna, because there is like a shower, good shower. Something like that, bathing prayer for a baby or something, event, someone said, something like that. So in the beginning I was rejected, like, no, why? You don't love us? We not. I said, no, I'm not going to eat. I don't have time for eating, just drinking water and something, and that's it. Because I don't drink soda, I don't drink tea, I don't drink coffee, I don't drink anything of those. So, I'm not going to hurt myself. No? And I do 3 visits per day. That will be horrible, right? It will be like this. So it is hard, but not impossible. Any other question?
Sorry, what was the author's name?
Huh?
What's the author again of Cultural Differences?
Trumpner, Trompenner, and Hampton, Hampton. Any other question? Yes, Amanda.
Yes.
Yes.
So those personalities that are controllers and that they don't listen to boundaries, how do you, when you set a boundary and they are defiant to that boundary, how do you deal with that?
Don't follow what they are saying. Do not follow what they are saying. This is a very good question. So if I put a boundary and we said that they said simply no to the boundary, and I will say no to what they are saying. No. It's no, and it's no. You have to listen to my boundary. Respect it so I can respect you. And you can do that. And do it aggressively. Don't do it aggressively, do it assertively. Do you know the difference between aggressive and assertive? Aggressive and assertive. Aggressive is rudeness. Assertive is just to put the limit in a very nice, respectful way. So be assertive with them. Don't be aggressive like them. That's my advice to you at this point, dealing with those people. Anything else?
What if you don't fit one of the 4 types? What if you're more of a combination of 2 of them?
Oh, definitely. You can be, you can be 2, you can be 3 actually.
Because you're not like fully one, but
Yeah.
you're not fully another.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. A lot of people are like that, like 2 together. But we need to learn. Once you know where you are in, you will learn from the 10 laws how to move forward. Yes, Christine.
If boundaries have already been crossed, what's the right way, like going back to, like, before the boundaries were crossed?
So you mean if someone crossed already the boundaries, can you get back?
Yeah, or like how should you get back?
How do you correct it?
To correct it, readjust. Readjust. You need to sit with yourself. Once you readjust, it will be anything will be accepted. The girl which I told you about, like she said yes to the guy because he said it respectfully, you know. I told her, she said it clearly to me, if he asks it again, what should I do? I said, what do you think? She said, if I said no, he will say you did it before. I said, so what can you say? Say no, I'm not going to do it again. Simply. It doesn't mean that I did a mistake, that I'm going to fix it with another mistake. I did it, mistake, that will not happen again. Thank you. Thanks for your offer. That's what I always told her. Tell him thank you for your offer. It's nice of you. Any other question? I would encourage you to come to Lead Beyond. It's in June. It's a leadership course in June in Tadros. So it will be my pleasure to see any of you. You can go to www.theleadprogram.org, because in this I'm going to teach a class in June about how to deal with difficult personalities in your life. Difficult personalities like manipulative people. Difficult personalities like those who are aggressive. Arrogant people. How can you deal with those in a Christian scientific way? That's what we are going to study. Again, you can go to www.theleadprogram.org. Theleadprogram.org. It is in the diocese, our diocese. It is in Titusville. So I think that will help some of you. We have a lot of people attending, but definitely I will invite all of you if you want to come. Just follow and fill the application and stuff like that. Definitely will be my pleasure to have you. And it's a weekend. You come on Friday night and you leave on Sunday after the liturgy. So you are not going to lose anything. If you want. Joey. Okay? Any question? Thank you so much again. Now it's 9:15, so we are on time. So thank you, Hura. Thank you. This is
we thank very much Abuna Tadros, and he didn't